watching the sunrise in the east.
All right.
In the beginning of the movie 2001, most people who sat in the theater were struck
It never ended on
by the
Twitch for me.
imagery which was presented to them, as they saw first a dark and gray and ugly world. And as that world began to move down from the center of the screen, they saw behind it
Copyright strikes are different from
a moon.
like guideline
No,
strikes.
it's back.
And
up.
as the
I gotta back
moon
up.
began to come down, With
So what I
screen
along here trying to figure out what the hell's
behind
going on.
it,
This is the first broadcast of the Mystery Babylon series from William Cooper. I highly recommend that you watch all of the Mystery Babylon series episodes. It's very good content. It's got great appeal as far as giving you a background on who's running the show, how they're running the show, why they're running the show, and why they continue to run the show, even though this man's been dead for, quite a while now. So, this is, pretty serious stuff, man. It just doesn't make any sense.
Nice. Last night I was getting into I'm sure you've heard the phrase "sword of Damocles." You ever actually looked into the story?
Slightly.
Okay. Do you know what it is? Do you know what the sword is, or where it is, or what the context is of any of that shit?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, you can elaborate.
Tell me.
No, you tell me.
I mean, I can tell you what I read yesterday.
You brought it up. I want to hear what you have to say.
Sure. It's a story from Cicero. It's a story from Cicero, right?
Okay.
It was Cicero, the great orator. And so then I started looking into Cicero stories, which there are a handful on LibriVox.com, which I will have, or .org, which I will absolutely fucking endorse 1,000% of the time. It is free open source audiobooks. So anything that's in public domain, anybody can read it and submit their own voice reading it. And they have a whole system to do it. There's lots of really, really good quality audiobooks, especially of old shit. Anyway, but Sword of Damocles, Cicero tells this story about Dionysus and Damocles. And Dionysus is this fucking killer fucking king. And he's got all the girls and all the money and all the food and all the stuff. And he's doing great. And he's doing his thing, and Damocles is like, man, you're just the greatest dude ever. And Dionysus is like, yeah, you want to be me for a day, or a couple days, go for it. We'll trade spots.
Right.
So he's like, all right, cool. So Damocles becomes the king, and he's like, oh shit, this is fucking sick. I'll do it. And so, but then he's got all the food, he's got all the money, he's got all the women, he's got all the fucking whatever. He's got the throne, and he sits on the throne, and above him is a sword hanging by a single hair of a horse's tail, directly above the throne. And that is what Dionysus had installed to remind him of how tenuous and how quickly his reality could be ended. And so it kind of paints it, and Damocles within a couple days is like, no, fuck this, man. I can't do this shit anymore. I can't have a thing hanging by literally a thread that will kill me at any unknown moment. That's
right.
The slightest little earthquake or whatever, But yeah, so that is the Sword of Damocles. It is an eminent, persistent peril, impending doom, if you will, that hovers over those in high places, if you will.
Sure. It's called
I just thought it was
karma.
fascinating. So I had heard the phrase a million times, but never really looked into the true
called
origins of
karma.
it. And I thought it was cool to do. That's all.
No, but you're right, Mike, and it's called karma, dude. It's going to well, it doesn't matter what label somebody puts on it. It's still karma, regardless. But
Well, it's a label that was put there 2,000 fucking years ago, whatever, 1,600, whatever it is.
yeah. So I mean,
But it's and so that is part of I believe it's a 5-book series called Disputations that Cicero did, and I've been slowly starting to make my way through it. I also looked into just reading for them because I find it. I just think it's such a cool project to just be doing,
right.
just recording old works. I get to read it too, but I have a decent mic and ostensibly a voice that doesn't totally suck, and being able to like read.
So
shit
I
like that
actually,
for
I
other people, that's
actually
great.
have a question for you. So you use this photo, Afix. You use this photo here in your Discord servers.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure, that's Joseph Ducrot, the most based badass of his time. He was actually Marie Antoinette's portrait painter, and he just paints hilarious portraits, self-portraits. Like, he has like one of him doing that. Like, hey, it's like obviously it's the meme nowadays, but like it's Marie Antoinette, it's the let them eat bread gal. Who she didn't, or let them eat cake, which she never actually said that. They still beheaded her. It doesn't really matter. He has another good one, good self-portrait of him yawning. I'll link the Wikipedia page if you want to throw it up. But there's not a whole lot more than that, other than I just find it funny. And this guy was like clearly ahead of the curve of just like being a funny guy.
Yeah. Sure.
Anyway, but yeah, when I went to the Louvre, I was disappointed. So that's where this painting is currently held, actually, and I was disappointed to find it was sadly in storage, and they would not bring it out, even though I would basically kill it to see
You know,
this
it's
painting in
funny.
person.
It makes me think of when I was over there. Like I traveled over to Europe when I was 16 years old, and like I got to experience stuff over there in that country that was amazing. And all over Russia and Europe, amazing experiences. And they're like, I came.
Yeah,
back here.
don't give a shit what they say about being mean to Americans. Gay Paris is fucking like amazing. It's a great city. Like I love me some Paris.
Yeah, so like, but the thing, what I'm getting at is like what was legal there was illegal here, and what's illegal here is legal there, and like there's all these like back and forth, and then like now look at our society today with the marijuana laws easing, and like like it baffles my brain that people can't wrap their head around the fact that it doesn't matter where you're at, it only matters where you're going, right? Mike, what are you doing? You always got to do some funny shit. So are you going to join us? Are we going to get to actually see your face, Afix, there? Or no, you ducking and covering for this one? No? No, I mean, like, the law of the land, like, is not... That's not natural law. Like, everybody says, oh, this is the right way to do things, and like, you cross the state line, you literally take a footstep over into this invisible area, this invisible line you step over, and
I didn't realize you couldn't hear me there. Sorry. Did I blow your whole OBS setup by
no.
going live on video? It seems like it.
No, why would
I might have to click my face or whatever to make it bigger.
Click your face? Oh, you did it different.
Yeah, to like make it bigger and shit.
Yeah, you just messed it all
I mean, I'm just streaming it as a video.
How about now?
Yeah, right? So I can stop doing that if it messed it up.
Now? No, how about now?
So in Discord, just click my face to make it like full screen or whatever.
How about
That should
now?
fix it.
How about now? How about now?
How about now? How about now?
How about now?
How about the yawning boy?
Yeah, so I'm not really geared and set up for people to make on-the-fly changes in the middle of broadcast.
Well, you'll fucking learn. You'll figure it out eventually. So this is the other self-portrait that I really like of his.
Are you going to go back to that screen, or am I going to have to like readjust everything again? Because it looks like you messed it all up.
It's the same screen.
It's not.
It's the same screen. It's my same video. It's the same screen. It's the same. But it literally is. It literally is the same dimensions, same everything that I'm streaming. It's all just coming out through my camera.
All right.
I just saw Elgato produced a 4K 60 FPS webcam for $300, and honestly, I think I'm gonna pick one up because that's fucking awesome.
That's actually a pretty good price. How much?
Corey, if you're listening, get one.
Well, whoever.
$299 for 4K 60 frames per second webcam.
Yeah, I don't need one of those.
Just came out.
Have a pretty good one right now.
Well, yeah, you just bought a camera.
Recommended to me by somebody that's in my circles.
Is it 4K at 60 frames per second?
Maybe he'll come
over
on.
USB.
Who knows?
I doubt it.
I doubt it too. I doubt it because nobody
Yep.
wants to
Oh,
be
don't
live.
crop me in, man.
Listen,
Give me the full 1080. Then I can
listen,
actually use
nobody
my
wants to
shit.
be live with me talking about the government. Not at all. Why would they? I dare somebody to come on.
Nah,
Oh,
well,
that's
whatever.
you. You came on.
What's
You
going on with
came
your
on,
frames
didn't
right
you?
now?
You came on, didn't you? See? You
Yeah,
got it
I
all
did.
messed up, Mike.
There we
Look
go.
at you.
See,
It's
I
not
I
me.
even dropped my border so it looks better with your stream.
How about now? Let me see. We'll do it like this.
So now I'll give you the blue border so you know how to frame me out.
Since you can't make up your mind.
What are you doing? No, because you're cropping the one scene that fucks up the other scene. I'm not. What do you make up your mind? Will you click my face in Discord to make me full screen? It'll make your life so much easier.
You're as good full screen as you're going to get. This is the way I do
Okay,
it.
fine. That's fine.
This
Take
is
it.
the way I do it.
Good. Yeah,
it or-
keep doing that, and then I
take-
do this,
take
and
it
then boom, and now I'm fucking a floating head, and I love it. Oh no, you crop the bottom so you get rid of your glowing border or whatever.
Yeah. No. We're
Bango,
good now.
fucking
I think
bango,
we got
and
it
we're
now.
perfect now.
I think you got it now.
Look at that shit.
Pretty amazing there, sir.
Hey, Mikey.
Anywho.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As
I mean,
John
like,
talks to a floating head.
it's pretty amazing how that floating head talks live. People aren't even
Yeah, it is funny.
realizing that probably.
Nah, well, there's only me and you watching it probably anyway, so it's all good.
Nobody's gonna watch it. Nobody's gonna watch it. It's the most craziest idea you could ever come up with. The
Not with
idea,
that attitude.
Listen, no, my attitude is to do it, regardless. I have
not
to.
an idea.
Listen, this is my service to humanity. I gotta tell
Yeah.
you guys to not vote.
Oh shit.
Like, because if we can stand up together and say, "Hey, enough of this garbage," like us not voting would be the most profound statement we can make to this regime of infiltrators. They infiltrated everything. They got it all. They took it all from us. They invented a lot of it, so it made it easy for them.
Would it really be the most extreme thing?
What's that?
I'm not sold on it. Would that really be the thing that like makes it all make a difference? I'm not even sure.
If nobody went to the polls and nobody
kinda doubt
voted,
it.
I think like that would have to be some kind of newsworthy thing on an international level. I think. You don't think so?
Okay, all right. So let me push back on you for a second here. And I'm not saying I totally disagree, but I want to just like have a little thought experiment with you.
Sure.
Do you think voting matters?
Not at all.
Then why does not voting matter?
Well, I mean, to get comical with it, yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely. You're right. Not voting doesn't matter. But it's something. At least we're throwing some kind of statement at them as a collective. See, it's not really so much as the act of
At
not
who?
voting.
People
but
that
the
just don't fucking
collective.
tell us that
Listen to
nobody
me.
gives a shit?
It's not just... this is what I need the people to understand, Mike. Affix. This is what they have to understand. Absolutely without any doubt whatsoever. That if you collectively do something as a species, that it's going to impact the entire species and the reality that the species has. Right? So us collectively not voting and giving a shit about where our system is and how we need to correct things and how we really need to straighten problems out, it's not going to be by voting the next clown in there. They've got it so twisted right now. In the state of Pennsylvania, the guy that's running for office is named after a dark wizard in a fairy tale. And people are buying this bullshit. This ain't real. Those people ain't real. Prove to me that they're real, because the guy looks like he looks like one of the original giants from back in David and Solomon's days. Like, he's huge. He doesn't even look like a human. Like, who are these people? And then the other one, that was Fetterman I'm talking about. The other one, Oz, his opponent. Look at this guy. What a show. Promoting the vax. Promoting the enslavement of humanity.
I mean, have you seen his fucking parody of the old mean
No, pull it up. I would
mean
love to
Joe
watch
Green? What the fuck video?
it. No, pull it up. I
Oh
would
god,
love to
it's
watch
like
it.
embarrassing and so low budget, even though this guy's got literally millions of dollars of Democrat funding behind him.
Yeah, pull it up.
Uh,
That would be great. Let's put that on.
it's fucking pathetic. All right, I'm not going to give you a Breitbart ad. I'll use the MSN one. They couch it in something slightly less shitty. All right. Okay, here you go. I'm sending you a DM now.
Let's see.
Honestly, it's just like it's kind of awkward. Oh shit, wrong button. I pasted the
Here we
wrong
go.
thing.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, you found it already? Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
There you go. Yep. Link.
Uh-oh. Where we at? No, I didn't find it. Cancel. I didn't find
I just
it.
DM'd it to you.
Hold on.
I just DM'd it to you.
Yeah,
You got
hold
it.
on a second here. Let me hide that for a second. Properties. No, why is it popping up like that? It shouldn't do that.
It's MSN.
Yeah,
and
it shouldn't
YouTube
do
and
that.
shits.
It should not do that. All right, so we'll just do it this way here. Yeah.
Just think
Yeah,
this is
so-
before his
so,
stroke.
like,
Oh
if you ever
no,
notice,
the
like,
comments are
they're-
horrible.
They're trying to like, we'll you know what? We'll set it up so we can look at the comments. How's that? Because that's a good idea.
Nah, honestly, only do that after you see it because you need to see it.
All
Top to bottom.
All right. Let's
First.
see here. Hold on.
I would do the pop out and share that one.
Let me see here. Properties.
It's genuinely embarrassing. And don't get me wrong, like a fucking TV shit doctor, like that guy beating him is not a win.
Mr.
Right?
Fetterman.
It's
Mr. Fetterman.
at this point we're only in a matter of
You need
how much
any
more
help?
we can lose.
I'm running for the U.S. Senate, kid. I need all the help I can get.
You're running for Senate?
Sure.
Where's your suit? And your flag pin? And your hair?
Oh, hey, kid.
I just want you to know I'd vote for you.
Hey, thanks, kid.
You want a drink?
Nah, no.
Really, you can have it.
Okay. Thanks.
See you around.
What is this? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, kid. Catch.
Wow! Thanks, Mayor John.
Right. Like, are you for real? You know what I mean? Like, this is for real? Is this really for real?
You gotta let it go.
Like,
You gotta let it-
is that for real? You're muted. You're muted. Anyway, that's just ridiculous.
I think you have me turned up a little bit much. And
Is it too loud?
no, you didn't finish it where the kid's wearing some fucking weird Jagoff shirt at the. It's just so bizarre.
Well, the whole thing was bizarre. You're saying I missed something now? What did we miss? We missed something? All right, hold on. We missed something. Let's see. What did we miss?
I mean, not
yeah.
really.
What's
but
a
for John
Jagoff?
Fetterman for Senate,
Right.
whatever. It's like fucking so
I'll
bizarre.
tell you when you're older.
The whole thing. So you know the original commercial is
Creepy,
parodying.
very creepy stuff, man. Very creepy.
Trump
stuff.
is a Jagoff.
Yeah, very creepy. Very creepy. Very creepy. Very, very creepy.
Hey, let's teach little kids about jagging off, right? Yeah, I know. Oh, it's a Western Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
thing or
and
whatever.
let's have him
Fuck
wear a
off.
shirt so he could go and introduce it to all his other friends, and they're all like, like they don't have Google.
Why is it always about fucking with the kids?
You know?
Why are they always about fucking with the kids, man?
Sure, if you type that into any of the search engines or social media platforms, a nice pleasant stream of things will appear.
So, okay, so you know the original ad. To be clear, like to be fair, there is an original ad that this was like famous in the 70s. Are you not familiar with that? That he's
No.
parodying
No,
just like a
not
fucking
at
high
all.
schooler quality.
Not at all.
Okay, so I just sent you the link to the original ad, so you can actually like have some context for that. But like, he's parodying. I mean, it's boomer shit. Like, it's a 1979 ad that was popular. Everybody fucking knows. Like, even I know it, and I'm younger than you. Like, but I'm blown away. You literally don't know it because I think you were actually maybe even alive during that year or close to it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
And so, yeah, if you want to play the original, it's a much better commercial. It's much shorter, and it doesn't look like a high schooler made it.
Let me see here. Hold on.
This motherfucker's running for Senate,
Oh, yeah,
has
yeah.
literally millions of dollars
All right.
behind
I know
him.
what you're saying here. Hold on. Yeah, I got it. Hold on. Let's see here. Let's see. Sorry. My apologies. My apologies.
I'm here.
Mr. Green?
Oh, right.
Mr. Green,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I see.
you need any help?
Therapy.
I just want you to know, I think you're the best ever.
Yeah, sure.
Want my Coke? It's okay, you can have it.
No.
Really, you can have it.
Okay.
A Coke and a smile makes me feel good. Makes me feel nice.
Be around.
That's the way it should be. I like to say.
Hey, kid.
I feel like this needs to be followed up with like the crying Indian.
Wow, thanks, Mean Joe.
Smile.
Yeah, so, right. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Palomalo?
Totally ridiculous.
Palomalo?
Yeah.
You need any help?
It's also much shorter and much better, and
want
also
my Coke
even
Zero?
though it's 1970s with zero good equipment, looks like a child didn't produce it.
I don't know. You
We
see
are in
some of the
such a
stuff I
levels of
produce,
clown world.
I probably could do better than that, though, right?
Yeah, no, but honestly, even your framing is better. Let's be real. Like, it's just pathetic. The whole goddamn thing is such a clown world, man. What do we do? What do we do about clown world, John?
Well, we don't vote.
And the
for-
and I'm
listen,
sorry,
listen,
I don't.
The lesser of two evils is still
I
evil.
don't think the.
I don't want to hear it, man. I'm tired.
I get
of
that.
It.
I get
It's
that.
Broken
But
records.
But I also
Vote for
don't
this
think
guy,
that
vote
like
for that guy,
fucking
expect change.
like yeah. But it's okay. So there's a steamroller coming, right? And it's like, just don't do anything. That doesn't sound like a great option.
We could do things.
I don't
but
know if I can hear you in
voting and
Discord or
participating in the system in the government is not going to be a good option for us if we continue to go down this road. We have to
Okay, so
accept our
why
agreements.
is so I like I've talked about this before. Like I haven't voted since the second time I voted for Obama. I voted once for the Obama the first time, so I was a stupid college kid. I voted for him the second time, so I was like, well, fuck it, like maybe he'll do something good because he has nothing to lose, and I was just stupidly wrong. And like, so I haven't voted since. So don't get me wrong. Like I'm not pro voting. Like I think it's fucking retarded. But like, okay, so. Fuck! I had a question, but I lost it. It's like okay, it's like what do we? It's like it's like when you have a problem or somebody has a problem with you. More importantly, I guess, and then all they say is what not to do. I find that 100% of the time less useful than them telling you what to do. And I'm not trying to fucking Fed post. I'm not trying to get you to say like, yeah, fucking just take them all hostage, fucking turn it all down. Like, no, that's fucking retarded. That doesn't help anything either. It actually just makes everything worse. So like
No, it doesn't
what
have-
what
there
do
doesn't have
you
to
do?
be
I generally
Any violence.
am on the side of create better alternatives so that people naturally move to it and just make them completely irrelevant. That's generally the side that I'm on. But at the same time, what's wrong with the thought that it's these career politicians that are the ones that are really to blame for the vast majority of these problems? These fuckers that have been here for, because there's no term limits on Congress or Senate, right? They can just keep fucking doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And so like most of the time they run fucking unopposed or opposed by somebody who nobody has fucking heard of, so they just lose. I in general would be more in support, even though I don't necessarily support voting, in support of whoever's in office, vote against them 100% of the time. I'd generally be more in support of that than basically anything else, because at least you're not giving these fuckers any further free reign, because they already have their next 4 years lined up. They just built that shit over the last 4. So fuck these guys, or 6 years, whatever the number is. And like, that's more where I'm coming from. Like, is like, whoever has a job shouldn't 100% of the time. And I generally think that's a better alternative than not. But at the same time, I come back to the George Carlin, if you vote, you can't complain, because I didn't fucking pick any of these things. I didn't legitimize the criminal system by voting, and which is what voting does, is legitimizing a criminal system. And I think that's where you're coming from. And I agree with that.
Oh, absolutely. Without any doubt, that's what
And so I'm not trying to legitimize a criminal system. And it's like, I didn't vote for either of these fuckers. Fuck you with the, like, I'm not legitimizing the election of this person by fucking putting my face or name or anything anywhere near them. So I think they both suck. And if you want to know who fucking wins every election, damn near every election in the United States, it's nobody. It's fucking nobody. Because most people don't fucking vote. If only we could elect nobody. I wish there was a none of the above. And you know what? If there's any legal thing you could push for, it would be always have a none of the above
So there was
option
a movie
on every ballot.
There was a movie back in the 80s with Richard Pryor. It was called Brewster's Millions. And the concept in the movie was that he got $30 million that he had to spend in 30 days. And if he spent the $30 million in 30 days and didn't have anything to show for it, that he would have, he would be able to get $300 million, right? So he comes up with this plan to run for office, but he doesn't actually want to win, because if he wins, then, he gets a salary, and that makes him not win the $300 million. So he puts on the ballot, none of the above. And like that was like the campaign. Like it was vote for the two guys that were both corrupt politicians, or vote for none of the above. Well, this is what I'm saying. If you walk into that poll on Tuesday morning and think that you're casting a ballot that's going to make some kind of change occur that they've been promoting out loud, like as an actual issue, like that's ridiculous. They have their own agenda set in place. They don't care who you vote for. Whoever gets in there, it doesn't matter if it's legit, illegit. At this point, they waved that right in your face. They laughed at you. And they waved it right in our face as Americans. They said, your vote doesn't mean a goddamn thing anymore. And we're laughing at you. That's what they did that last election. And I not that I'm a Trump supporter, because I don't want any of them in there. He started the Holocaust. And the other one came in there to play stupid about it. Like, this is an agenda. They've been doing this. Now, what's the next thing? They're going to war. They're attacking the children. And they got everybody distracted with this dumbass voting scheme, when really what we need is assign tasks as a species to do better for ourselves, to do better for humanity. It's just ridiculous. Aphex, it's just ridiculous, man.
So there was a Canadian guy who actually did this. He legally changed his name to first name above, last name Z, none of the. Last name Z, none of the. And he got on the ballot in Canada. Obviously, starting his last name with a Z so that he'd be at the bottom of the ballot, because it's last name, comma, first name. And literally tried to. He got about 1% of the vote. But could have done better. He was part of the Rhinoceros Party, which is hilarious to me. But yeah, so people, like, honestly, it's a better try than most people did. But this is shit. What year? 2015. 2016.
As people become more intelligent in the political process and get more balanced in their right, left, masculine, feminine, balance all these things, right? When they balance all this and they start looking at things in like a libertarian mind state. Like, I've done that. I did that for years. I was a statist in a libertarian mindset. Like, that was going to make some kind of difference if we voted for this third party.
But what's the difference between libertarian and anarchist?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
6 months. That or you ain't fucking doing it hard enough.
So like, you've kept up on some of the libertarian stuff that was going on this past year, right? I mean, some of it looked like it had
absolutely
hope or steam or promise.
No, the fucking proper Austrian economics, the Mises Caucus fucking took over, man, and that's fucking really important, actually.
That's like a pretty big deal.
I'm not gonna say they're gonna fucking win. it is a big deal because you get a lot of these OG boomers that like, and I'm not saying that as like boomers are a bad thing. I fucking love my parents and they're both boomers. Fuck. But like, and the boomers were fucking right about shit. A lot of shit. They worked their ass off for a long fucking time. Like, they got us to the point where we're at. But also, they had a world that was somewhat blessed because the entire rest of the planet was fucking destroyed after World War II. Like, there's a whole bunch of fucking major reasons for this. But that said, like, yeah, the Mises Caucus taking over is huge, man. I mean, if we just got shit, if you could get Austrian economics into fucking middle school, dude, literally both Republicans and the Democrats would be gone like within a decade minimum or maximum.
Well, that's what
like
communism
it's
just did.
Motherfuckers don't understand how the
they just did the same thing. Communism.
No, yeah, but it's never true.
They did it in less than 10 years.
Communism. It's all bullshit. No. Our system is not commie. I appreciate where you're coming from, but no, it's not. I won't.
No, not by far. Go look at communist China.
That's actually the only fucking reason we have any shot.
Right. Go look at communist
But
China.
you can also get too free reign, right? Like, well, and like the biggest problem I think is like the government deputizing these private industries, right? Because the government is always the fucking problem, right? No monopoly exists in any country ever historically without the government basically doing something. And so to take that a step further, like then you get the like following 9/11, you've got the government saying like banks, you're in charge of like it's your fault if you don't ban the terrorists or whatever. And so it's like, cool, now we have free reign to determine who can and can't use our banks. And that's actually a fucking huge problem because that led to the fact that like, the banks get to choose, like they're deputized, like they get essentially like police powers on who, like what customers they do and do not serve. And this is exactly the problem with why like Alex Jones or whatever gets shut down from PayPal. I mean, all this shit fucking lines up all the way back to then. And shit, like we're worried about fucking like, I don't know. I've caught shit before for saying that like coronavirus was like 9/11 in slow motion, but I truly think it's true. And like, I don't think most people realize that like it wasn't until 2005 that we had to take our fucking shoes off at the airport based on shit that all started in 2001. We got a long fucking way to fall.
Sure. On
this Rona shit. We're still going. Sure. It's still fucking going. So like, it's like, and it's allowing, and so this is, so what happened with free speech, right? The government deputized, not we the people, not we, you or I, like not actually the people, but the government deputized Twitter, Facebook, whatever, like YouTube, all these fucking companies to like, okay, it's your fault if somebody says a bad thing that we don't like. And YouTube obviously wants that fucking sweet government money to do the pharma ads because you can't actually legally advertise an EUA product if you're the company. But if the government does it, it's fine. So that's like an emergency use authorization product, which is what the Jabberwockies were, are still currently, to be clear. Well, they're trying to get on the childhood schedule, which allows them to maintain liability protection, which, anyway, we don't need to get into that. But like, essentially, the free speech shit was delegated to these and deputized. Like, they deputized Twitter, they deputized Facebook, they deputized YouTube. So like, but on behalf of the federal government, and that's where it gets really fucking tricky because you're not going to see, and honestly, this is all like literally happening and changing right now based on some of the shit that we're seeing with like Fauci, basically like I don't want to get deposed to have to speak about censorship shit, and like no, a judge just blocked that like yesterday or today, I think 2 days ago maybe, but dude, yeah, it's the same shit we saw with banking is the same thing we're seeing happen with free speech. And it's just fucking getting into everything. And it's just a bunch of whiners bitching about other people that somehow have a voice that shouldn't. Or is, and it's, and 100% of the time, it's because it's either protecting money, and all these like little protected groups, if you will, often think that these big corporate powers have their back with the Black Lives Matter, or the trans rights, whatever. You think the fucking corporations, the governments care about you? No, dude. You're just a fucking pawn in their game, man. They will throw you under the fucking bus the moment they get what they want. But they're going to use you to destroy the rest of it that they don't control yet. I don't know. I feel like I touched on like 20 different things and didn't actually make a coherent point at the end, but fuck it.
No, you did. It's like going through a wood
Hopefully,
chipper. No,
hopefully
you-
some of it
listen,
lines up together.
You described it perfectly. It's like going through a fucking wood chipper. Like it's not, nothing comes out of it correctly. It's ridiculous. All
I feel like my psyche has gone through a wood chipper trying to follow this shit. So yeah, I'll agree with that.
yeah, and like try to do some homework on these people, and like it's very limited lately, very limited. And then try to broadcast anything or tell anybody about it, and you know, like it's like, you know, how many views you think this is getting? You know what I mean? Like, unless you actually record it and share it, and like specifically have people that will watch it, like this is not the discussion that people want to have.
Well, and if they do, it wasn't. What else does it do other than put a fucking target on your back half the time, right? That's like it doesn't. And you're way easier to shut down if you're a nobody. If you're somebody like Rakita or something, like, you know what I mean, like Rakita Law or whatever, it's like somebody shuts them down, and it's like, well, at least there's 350,000 subscribers on YouTube that'll complain to Twitter or whatever on Twitter, like, or complain to YouTube on Twitter, which is fucking insane that even works. You know what I mean? Like, it's a completely different platform.
Right.
And yet they've got this firepower behind them. But that there is something to be said for that. And there's something to be said for making connections slowly up the chain to find the people that can help you out, that you can talk with, and they can talk with, and they can talk with, and just getting yourself in front of certain people, because certain people do fucking care, and certain people actually know how, like, the moment Twitter is acting on behalf of a specific request of the government, they lose these fucking protections that they have as a carrier. They're not AT&T anymore. They are like, the government can't infringe, like, oh yeah, the free speech is only, or First Amendment is only like government stuff. Yeah, but when the government still can't infringe on your free speech. The government still cannot infringe on your free speech through a third party, through a private company. That immediately revokes a protection for the private company and makes them both liable. And this is like, I want to see this shit. Like, this is honestly like a fucking Nuremberg style Supreme Court case, in my opinion. And it should be the Nuremberg shit. It's crazy to even talk about bitching about this shit and the trans rights and the Black Lives Matter, because it kind of just fucking like draws under the rug the shit about the Jabberwockies and the shit they pulled over the Rona, which I think deserves true, proper Nuremberg level fucking trials. But then they have their little fucking fake Reichstag fire of the 6-1, like the January 6th bullshit. And they fucking they just always want to make the more recent thing on fire, make that the more important thing that you're talking about. And it's a stupid game they constantly play where they'll just, oh, you actually have a fucking hook in this fish? Like, okay, let's just like set your fucking boat on fire, and now you're worrying about that instead of the fish that's about to jump out of the water and eat you or whatever. Like, and it's just like, there's so many layers of all this shit that I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, and they want it to be that way. They want it to be confusing and misleading, and like, you know, like, and at the end of the day, you have to say to yourself, like, they want me to decide on evil. Like, that's what they want. They want me to pick evil, and they're like blatant.
Pop quiz. If they don't want it to be confusing or misleading, what do they want it to be?
Well, they don't want it to be a
boring
democratic.
They want it to be
Yeah,
boring.
they definitely want it to be boring. They
want it to be boring as fuck. Like every economic talk, like every legalese bit you've ever fucking read, every terms of service agreement you ever clicked, that's the final fucking way that they will always fucking win. Is they, like, nobody gives a shit about the 3 months treasuries, like, overtake, like, if you take the 3 months treasury bond, like Fed treasuries minus the 10-year Fed treasuries, it is basically 100% recession indicator. And it just crossed the fucking line to past zero. So, like, we are going into recession. It just started last 2 weeks. Like, it's happening right now. But that shit is boring as fuck to listen to and to pay attention to and to look into. And when you read into the reasons for all of it, it's even more boring and long-winded and takes forever. Just like legalese. Legalese and economics, I think, are the prime ways to do that. But they're also the prime ways they fucking control you 100% of the time.
Absolutely. Without a doubt. Without any doubt. But, you know, like, think about that, too. Like, the fact that... The fact that there's, like, one... Like, wait.
No, your Twitch stream just died, I think.
Nope. Should be back up. Should be.
All right.
Should be. I saw that. But it should
It's hard
be
to
up.
tell, so because you're doing this. Yeah, you should do a thing where it like shows at least me talking. Do something with both of us talking. Because it looks like it's just like a fucking mesothelioma ad at 3 a.m.
It is a mesothelioma at 3 a.m. Where's his stream at?
I don't know if you stream it. DK, you stream it? Oh shit! I don't know if you could actually chat.
Why am I getting all...
Do something more entertaining, new visuals. I'm saying this as a producer. Yo, DK, pop in, dog.
Nope.
Do you have a link? We have you on Discord, right?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I sent links. I sent links everywhere.
Yeah, I got you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I sent.
Did you send one to him, or you got one to him, or you want me to do
I
it?
thought I did.
I'll do it. I got it. Don't worry.
Maybe I
all
did.
good.
Maybe I didn't. I don't know. But this is the discussion. Stopping the vote. Why? Why not?
Yeah. But like, show the discussion instead of like just
like,
showing that shit.
Why? Why not?
Show us talking, man. Fuck it.
So let me go back in here. Why is this not working again? Oh my, it's so difficult. Technology should not be this hard.
It's your computer. You own it.
Yeah, and to think about that, like the amount of money that I invested.
Most
in
people
this
fucking
product,
don't own shit they own.
You
But I think they own.
trying to get it, squared away here in a proper.
I think my volume's a little bit louder than yours, and I'm trying to fix that.
All right, let's go there.
You just have me turned up a little bit. Yeah, you don't have to stream me in Discord, man.
Yeah. So.
Hey, DK, what's up, dude?
All right, we got another joiner. Listen, I want you to know right up front, DK, that you're live. I'm on several platforms. Just so you know, is that all right with you, sir? I don't have a volume.
Right on. He says he's in another mate's chat. Wanted to catch up about what we were talking about first. I feel like we're talking about a whole bunch of stuff.
Basically,
but he is currently
what we're
in our voice
covering
chat.
is just the basics on like what the hell is going on this planet when it comes to voting, because people
Damn near
still
everything.
think because they still think that their vote has some kind of meaning or something along them lines. I just don't see it anymore. I just
I
don't
feel like
know.
I had a little bit of a checkmate on you earlier, and you kind of skipped over it.
What do you mean a checkmate? You didn't have no
A
checkmate.
little bit.
No,
I'll go.
no.
I'll go back.
Not.
Does
Absolutely
voting
not.
matter?
Absolutely.
So does voting matter?
Absolutely not. Absolutely and
Okay.
absolutely not.
Okay.
All at the same time.
Okay. So if that's the case, then does not voting matter?
Well, here's the thing. By not voting, you're actually voting. Right? So that's what matters.
Do you even know how many people don't vote? Like, do you know what the percentage is?
No. Maybe we
Well,
should
maybe
look
that's
at,
a good start for the
that's-
stream. Yeah, look it up.
That's something we'll fit that in tomorrow during the daylight
I'm just
hours.
looking up right now. Fuck it.
No, during the daylight hours when everybody's watching. Because nobody's watching now. It's late night. It's okay, though, because we got it all set up, man. It's ready to go now. There's a couple little tweaking things that I got to do, but I'm going to lay out a bunch of stuff, man. We're going to talk about voting. We're going to talk about a little bit. We'll go into the fraud a little bit. Why not? I'll pull up some stuff. Quite a few people over the years have sent me quite a few things about the fraud. That's just the documented fraud. You got to go back in time. The fraud's been going on since the beginning.
Have you seen the Matt Taibbi bit? I think it's worthy of a stream because at least something more visually interesting. The Matt Taibbi TK News bit they recently did and got like banned / demonetized / a strike on YouTube for talking about it.
How about
It was all just like clips of Democrats post 2016 talking about voter fraud. It's fantastic.
No, not at all.
Okay, hold on.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Give me a second. I'll send you a link. Optimizing care.
Yeah, we're sending links. That's how you gotta do it. You gotta do it like that. You gotta optimize the care, bro. That's the biggest problem we have. The care is not optimized. This is it here. This is the one.
Wait, what?
See, none of the above.
No. That's different. That's the Canadian
other
guy
guy.
who changed.
Yeah,
he
you
legally
talked about
changed his name to Z, none of the above, and so that he would show up at the bottom. That's
great.
fucking ridiculous to me.
All right.
Oh my god, yeah, like YouTube completely just nuked this fucking video, but it's so good. Fuck, give me another
Hold
minute.
on, we're optimizing care, everyone. Right? We're optimizing care.
Hold on.
Optimizing care. Yeah. This is what I care
Fuck, do
about.
I even find this anymore?
This is what I care about. I care about not having
Honestly, if YouTube nuked this so hard the first time around when it happened on YouTube that they're probably not gonna fucking let it show up again. Fuck.
Please wait. Optimizing care.
Nope, yep, I got it. Hold on. Got it. Here we go.
All right, he got it. We're
Yep,
about
yep,
to
sending it right now. Boom. All right, share this bad boy.
Let's go here. Yep. Let's go pause.
So this is a flashback. This was released on September 29th, 2022, so very recently, about a month ago. It's a bit of a flashback to all the shit that sounds familiar in different ways.
All right. Hold on. Let me see here. All right. So we'll go.
I think we just fucking forget about this shit and let it run under the rug. Fuck these guys.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, though. You know, like you just.
The unfortunate reality is they're fucking right. Most people have the goddamn memory of a goldfish, and
Well,
nobody follows any of this shit. They just read the fucking headlines.
Right.
Nobody
And
knows actually
those
what the fuck's going down.
10-second ads really are making a difference. Like, that's the ridiculous
It's not just
thing.
10-second ads. It's Good Morning America. It's fucking Morning Joe. It's fucking CNN, MSNBC. Blah, 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 blah. You get your suburban wine moms just like slurping on fucking Trump hate train garbage all day. And it's like, yeah, all politicians suck. Dude's also a politician. It's like, oh, Trump's racist. It's like, dude, that motherfucker grew up in like New York City and shit. Like, you think he's got like less interaction with black people than like fucking Joe Biden from fucking, what is it? Well, same place as Hillary, right? Like Scranton, PA or some shit. It's like, dude, there's no black people in Scranton, PA. Motherfucker never seen a black person in his life.
Well, that's not necessarily true.
Nah, fair enough.
But I get what you're saying. It makes sense.
Yeah. Point is, it's just kind of a
All
silly
right, so
claim
let's
in
play
both
the
cases.
clip. Let's play the clip because you sent the clip, and this is like really good.
So, if we're all in agreement that it is incorrect to say the 2020 election was stolen, what about the 2016 election?
Look, I'm not going to
Go back into history.
It was a stolen election.
It was stolen.
stolen. He's an illegitimate president. He's an illegitimate president.
You know, pretending to be president.
Why do you think the president is going to such great lengths to essentially prove that he beat you?
Because he didn't.
1/3 of Clinton supporters say Trump election is not legitimate.
I think he's an illegitimate president that didn't really win.
You are absolutely right.
You can run the best campaign. You can even become the nominee. And you can have the election stolen from you.
The 2016 election was stolen. Got a nicer way to say that?
Say Russia hacked the election.
Russia hacked our election.
Russia hacked our election. A little louder, please.
Russia hacked our election. That was a 9/11 scale event.
This was a kind of cyber 9/11 American
Cyber
institutions.
9/11.
Yes.
Russia hacked our election.
Russia, of course, hacked our election here.
Half of Clinton's voters believe the conspiracy theory that Russia hacked election day votes.
We know that they were into voting rolls, actual interference with the elections themselves. We know it happened.
Despite no credible evidence, 67% of Democrats believe Russia tampered with vote tallies.
Hacking the U.S. election. Hacking the U.S. election. Russia hacked our election.
The Russians hacked our election.
Russia hacked our election.
Russia hacked our election.
Russian hacking of our election.
Hacking of our election.
Russia hacked our elections.
Russia hacked our elections.
Stolen election.
Russia hacked our election.
Russia hacked our election.
The universal assessment that Russia hacked our election in 2016.
Foreign governments hacked our elections.
Most young Americans consider Donald Trump an illegitimate president.
He's an illegitimate president.
Why is he illegitimate? He just won an election.
He's an illegitimate president in my mind. That's it.
I absolutely agree.
Experts urge Clinton camp to challenge election results.
We will see how illegitimate his victory actually was. He's an illegitimate president.
Russia hacked our election. Russians hacking our election.
Hacked our election.
Russia hacking our election.
I don't see the president-elect as a legitimate president.
Trump is an illegitimate president who stole the election.
He is not a president.
He's illegitimate, and my biggest fear is that he's going to do it again with the help of Vlad, his best pal. It's terrifying.
Would you be my vice presidential candidate?
Hillary Clinton voters call to overturn election results.
More than 4 million people have already signed a petition on change.org, calling for the electors of the Electoral College to, quote, ignore their states' votes and cast their ballots for Secretary Clinton.
Trump didn't actually win the election in 2016.
We are the victims of a bloodless coup. He didn't win the general election.
Yo, Electoral College, make Hillary Clinton president, period.
Donald Trump is an illegitimate president.
Illegitimate president.
Dems don't accept Trump as a legitimate president.
This wasn't on the level. This election was not on the level.
I don't think he's a legitimate president.
Our election wasn't legit!
He got his victory from cheating.
Yes, Trump cheated. Trump cheated the 2016 election.
He's an illegitimate president.
No validity, no credibility.
And because of that,
Anger at what some see as an illegitimate president.
It will not be a peaceful change of power.
a number of incidents turned violent. Protesters hurled trash cans, flash bombs, and objects at police.
Several officers injured.
Protesters threw rocks and smashed windows, leading to more confrontations, injuries, and arrests.
The chaotic scene just blocks outside the secure area of the inauguration.
If denying election results is extreme now,
Yeah.
why was
So
it then?
let's be really clear. That comparison that you made is just ridiculous.
Protests against Donald Trump's election victory surged overnight, and some became violent.
Violence erupted on the streets of Portland during the second straight day of protests over the election of Donald Trump. Some protesters launched fireworks and other projectiles at police. Several people began vandalizing cars.
Some demonstrators smashed store windows. Protesters faced off with police in other cities, too, including Oakland, Denver, and Minneapolis.
Violent protests continuing now for the third day in a row. Some 4,000 angry demonstrators over Trump's election victory taking to the streets.
Officers confronted thousands of protesters in what police called a riot.
Setting fires, taking their frustrations out on cars and buildings. People threw projectiles at officers and damaged property as well.
I threw a trash can at them because I'm angry.
One woman driving through was attacked as someone used a bat to smash her windshield.
They are undermining our democratic process, everything that we stand for.
Let me start with the serious, and then we'll get to a lot.
Beautiful.
Of
it's a perfect compilation because we all fucking forget. There's only 4 fucking years before 2020, and all of this shit just seems so Zoomer newbie bullshit.
That is the context for this terrible attack.
Like Zoomer newbie bullshit, dude. I
Pelosi's
literally
husband,
was going to Warped Tour for the punk fucking
I know you
festival
care about free speech, so
in
I
2004, wearing a shirt that had George Bush's face on it.
There's no free speech right to
"Not my president." Hey, why is this shit playing?
Do you think that the
This is
we still
not
have to follow the facts. We don't have all the facts yet about this defendant.
Crap. It's like autoplay. You should kill autoplay.
Yeah, so
Next to the CC button is the autoplay button. Just turn that shit off.
Right. So
yeah. Okay. So it's fucking ridiculous, and it's well, yeah, we all know it happened, but like just seeing it back to back, and it's like, this is the laughing in your face thing that we've all been talking about for a bit. And I'm sorry if I'm loud. I'm trying not to be. I feel like I'm extra loud on your stream. This is like the laughing in your face that we're talking about, right? It's like no, it's just fucking on its face obvious that when we do it, it's okay. When you do it, it's bad, and we're gonna fucking shoot you or put you in jail. It's like, okay, well, I have a problem with like some shit that's going on around me. Whatever, George Floyd. Okay, it's like I'm gonna burn down my neighbor's businesses versus I'm going to go to the government's location, ostensibly literally the most definitional public property there is, and voice my opinion. And which one of those is the bad one? I can't wrap my brain around any of this shit. One thing that I think is very important that they touched on at the beginning of that video is they said a few times in those links, and probably went under the radar for a lot of people. They said Cyber 9/11. Now that to me is actually very fucking important. And I have, obviously you're live streaming now, John. We can see the video. I don't know if you need that graphic.
Can you just go ahead and say what you're saying?
So I have sent you another video that's only 3 minutes long, but it's from 14 years ago, from one of my favorite fucking lecturers slash writers slash just law professors. He's the head of intellectual property law or something like that, or just he's a law professor at Harvard. Lawrence Lessig, and he's been a badass forever. And if you haven't read his book Copyleft, read it. It's old, but it is very fucking good. It's short, it's easy, it's completely free. Obviously, if the name of the book doesn't tell you, it was free since it came out. But it's fan-fucking-tastic, and it definitely changed my opinion and understanding of a lot of intellectual property and copyright law. But this is from 14 years ago. He's at a panel discussion at some tech conference. And just keep in mind the thought of Cyber 9/11, and let's take it from there.
Oh man! All right.
Like I said, only 3 minutes long. Nice.
All right, let's go. Let's see it. Right. Where are we at with it? Why is it gotta be so difficult? It shouldn't be so difficult. Yeah, this is really good.
It's because you haven't set your scenes up correctly.
You shared this with me before. No, it's just
I don't think I did.
They keep moving around.
I really don't think I did, because I got a scarier one if you want, which is what I think you're thinking.
No, I'm pretty sure that I've seen this one here. Let me see.
I don't see it on stream currently. If you think you're streaming it, I don't see it.
Yes, sir.
Just popped up.
Yes, sir.
My name is Larry Lustig, and I'm a professor at Stanford. I've been involved a lot in the founding of Creative Commons, which Joey now chairs, and a lot around the issues of intellectual property as it relates to this space. In the last 10 or 15 years, the great hope was that government would ignore what happened in the context of the internet. And in certain ways it did, in certain ways it didn't, but in certain important ways it did. And the hope was that eventually when the government kind of woke up, I think many of us kind of imagined, it was bizarre how idiotic we were, but we imagined when the government woke up, they'd actually be intelligent or rational in thinking about how to deal with this new medium. And I think the great fear I have right now is that for reasons articulated brilliantly in a book by John Zittrain called The Future of the Internet and How to Stop It, we're about 1 or 2 years before the government really wakes up to dealing with what it thinks of as the internet, and there's extraordinary ignorance inside the government about how to do it in a way that continues to foster the very best of what the internet has done. And so, the great work of people, people like Vid Cerf or people inside of entities that are trying to educate the government about how to do it right, still in my view hasn't penetrated. And instead it's this old style special interest corruption that is going to guide the way the government goes, and that's going to really screw a whole extraordinary amount of wealth that could be created if we kept true to what the principles of the internet were. The thing that really worries me, though, is again, the intersection with the government around issues about security. So, the 30-second version of the Zittrain story is there's going to be an I-9/11 event, which doesn't mean an Al-Qaeda event. What it means is an event where the instability of the
Cyber 9/11?
security
That sounds familiar.
becomes manifest, some major malicious event, which then inspires the government into a response. If you remember, after 9/11, the government dropped the Patriot Act within about 20 days, and it was passed. And the Patriot Act is huge. I remember somebody asking a Justice Department official, how did they write such a large statute so quickly? And of course the answer was, it's been sitting in the drawers of the Justice Department for the last 20 years waiting for the event that would allow them to drop it. And of course the Patriot Act is filled with all sorts of insanity about changing the way civil rights are not protected or protected in the United States. So I had dinner once, and Richard Clark was at the table, and I said to him, is there an equivalent? Is there a Patriot Act, an I-Patriot Act, just sitting waiting for some substantial event for them to come in and have an excuse for radically changing the way the internet works? And he said, of course there is. And I swear this is what he said, and quote, Vint Cerf is not going to like it very much. So this is a big terror. Like, they're just sitting, waiting for the inevitable to happen, and then slam.
And this is Richard Clark, the counterterrorism czar.
They haven't sent it to me yet, but when I get it, I'll send it.
Under H.W. Bush. Are you ready? And you work for the State Department under Reagan, like, as a national security guy. So, yeah, not the guy talking, but the guy he's talking about saying that. It's fucking crazy, man. It's fucking absolutely crazy. Yeah, can we get a more visual thing going on here? I feel like it's more fun that way. Yeah, but they're not. I mean, nobody's here. So, like, just fucking ask them when they join the text chat or whatever. Hey, if you're listening to this, put your name in the text chat. We'll DM you a fucking Discord link. How about that? Next. Cool. All right. So you don't need to show that. Or you just put the number at the bottom as a single text thing instead of your fucking live streaming next. That doesn't make any sense. So I did send you a way different topic level of gamification of society video, which I think actually does kind of link into all this. But if you want to, but you have to like kind of like at least put something on top of it to make it like somewhat, we have to talk a little bit about it. Maybe pause it while we're going through it. Or if you got something to play, by all means, like if you want to just fucking do that. Just talk. I think we're doing a great show so far, and we can call it. So it's we'll give it like maybe another 15 minutes. How many hours streaming are you planning on doing? Yeah, I think you should use those Carlin bits as like bumper tracks, like when you start some shit or like end some shit. I think those are good ways to catch the whole conversation. I've hopefully provided something. I don't care about the cause. I care about fucking just making sure it's a good show, man. Fuck it. You got the power, man. It's in your hands. I believe in you. Okay, so all right, so we just fucking finish this thought for me tomorrow then. Or like before tomorrow then. So like, how does stopping the vote fix anything? Like an actual result, like this, like I push a thing over and it falls. So like give you the same like action reaction chain of what you think actually happens. Say, let's go all the way to the end of what you're talking about. Nobody votes on Sunday. Literally nobody votes. What do you think that actually changes? And like, what is the actual next result? Where does that go?
Well, stay tuned.
I'm not disagreeing. I just don't fucking see it.
Tomorrow we will be breaking that down, and it might continue into Monday. We're gonna. Well,
so I've said like let's have a little preview right now, so we can fucking like test your skills of argumentation.
If you would like to,
yeah.
The gist of it is very simple. Collectively, we decide to do something and we actually do it. And the proof of it's going to be profound.
Do we all communicate with each other that we didn't vote? How do you even know?
Oh, see.
What if everybody around you, everybody's around you wearing masks? Everybody's around you wearing masks, and so you say, "Well, I wear masks. Everybody around me wears masks." It's like, well, fucking, did you tell your friend to wear a mask? Like, did you what the fuck did somebody tell you? Like there's like, oh, it's just normal worldwide. What's like why? Because you saw like fucking 4 clips on the.
Well, I'll say this.
Bangladesh on the fucking CNBC. It's like, how do we even know whether people did or didn't do any of this shit anyway? Because we have no fucking good verification. And I will happily dig into the actual physical voting system. Like my mom was like a fucking vote counter for years for like the Dems in Bucks County, which is like the fucking hotly contested county of the hotly contested state of the fucking country. And where do their voting machines get kept? Like in between elections? In a fucking SureGuard open air. Like you've been to these fucking storage facilities. You can jump over one into the next one any fucking time you want it. As long as you have a key, it really doesn't matter. And like all of them are kept into this guy's spot and he's a Republican. Oh no, that's a fucking big deal. And it's like, well, but why? Like, I mean, why is one person of this committee allowed to take them home with them? That's fucking insane. If that's not provided by the federal government, it elects government, like federal officials. Like, what the fuck? Like, at the same time, I don't want to take more money from people. Like, dude, the whole goddamn thing is fucked from top to bottom.
So I think
here's the answer.
The bug.
I'll give you one answer. This is if you're gonna do voting right. Here's all you need to do. When you vote, they give you a randomly generated, I don't know, 64 letters and numbers, and it's not connected to your name because actually. Private voting is a fucking like constitutional, like it is a deeply held right that is really important. Like your job cannot and should not be allowed to ask you who you fucking voted for. You know what I mean? And like secret ballot, I guess is specifically what it's called. That's very important. And so like for good reasons. And it's because if you could just get a list of all the people that voted the way you don't like, that could fuck a lot of things up and actually kind of ruins the whole act of voting because then you have essentially like this weird external pressure to vote one way because everybody's fucking doing it. You don't want to be the fucking weirdo. Like I've had friends that literally other friends never talked to them again because one of them said they voted for Trump and it's like they were more happy with me just saying I didn't vote.
So the video, hold on. Let's
somebody who ostensibly cares more. You know what I mean?
The video that you just had that you sent to me that we just played about the Trump. You know, like in the election fraud with Trump, right?
It's literally the exact same arguments, except about Russia from 4 years earlier. Please? Sorry, yeah, I'm shutting up. Sorry, yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? When that was being broadcasted, I was actually in a jail cell watching it from a television set in a jail cell. You know, so like all that hoopla that was going on out there, I wasn't actually partaking in any of that. I was on the other side of it, you know, like after. On the way out with Trump.
Enforced observer.
I was subjected to the propaganda box on the jail cell block. You know what I mean? And like this is what everybody gathered around to watch. The people in the streets, like, yeah, they're tearing it up and they're doing this, and like people are very enthralled with that level of entertainment when there was actual stuff going on. You know what I mean? It's just
and then you get an Ivory Coast taxi cab driver, and you're like, "Yo, man, who are you voting for in 2016?" He's like, "I will vote for Trump. He's going to shake things up."
Right?
It ain't wrong. In retrospect, it ain't fucking wrong.
No, but
shit, man.
This is what I'm saying. So you asked me a question. Like, what does it mean not to vote? This is what it means. This is
what does the dominoes falling look like? That's what I want to hear.
The only reason the system, and I swear, the only reason the system can exist the way it does right now is because we support it. And I'm not talking about in a vote.
I'll go one step further. Say consent.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Yeah.
I'm saying if we don't vote, it's not just the not voting that occurs at that moment. At that moment, we as a species on this fucking continent of America said out loud into the universe, we're done. We're done with it. Something has to change. Now, one of the solutions that I have, which is pretty good, it might work, is that as we transition into a more freedom-based, morality-based society, is that we body cam everybody that's an elected official, everybody that works for government. We body cam them up so that every single aspect of what's being...
And stream it live to the internet.
Stream it live to the
24/7.
internet. Absolutely. Every single person.
Yeah.
Like, we could
Yeah,
type
24/7.
in like an IP address, and we could go and see
No, it should be a YouTube video. I should be able to... Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
With the exception
it's my
of
fucking
using
money.
bathrooms,
Fuck you.
With the exception of
It's
using
my-
bathrooms.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I want to see what you ate
obviously.
for lunch. Like,
While you're eating. Like, your entire job is welfare, as far as I'm fucking concerned. Your entire job... And I, like, you probably know better than I. Motherfuckers on welfare actually are really observed by the people that give it to them. Right. Because the government doesn't want to give out money. Right. And so it's the same idea. Anyway, I don't give a shit. Same. If you work for the military, or like you're in the military, same shit. As far as I'm concerned, that's fucking welfare. You only exist on the taxpayer's dime. And so literally 100% of that job should be like, we don't have the funding for it. What? $250 per employee once ever, and you get a good fucking webcam? We're done with this? Fuck off. Like, this is a stupid fucking question. And at the very least, a fucking audio recorder that you have in your pocket at all times, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? These are simple fucking problems.
Very simple.
Like, but that government contract is $10 million and needs a law to fucking make it something anybody gives a shit about, because what are they fucking doing with their time? And that actually brings me to another Lawrence Lessig book, Republic Lost. And he destroys it in that book and basically breaks down how at least 30% of every politician's time is purely involved with raising more money, mostly for their reelection, but just in general, just making more money. And to the point where like it needs to be that way because of how expensive elections are. And it eventually becomes about $30,000 a week that they need to fucking get in their time in office. Think about that and how much time that'll take up of your day to fucking try and figure that out just to keep the fucking job. You literally exist to move money because money ain't worth shit if it ain't moving. And that's the reality of it. Oh, hey, we want to go renewable energy.
They call it
who the fuck is,
currency
who's the
for a
biggest?
reason.
Yeah, right. The currents of the fucking water. Exactly. And so like, why is whoa, like who are the biggest investors in renewable energy? Fucking gas companies. They're also energy companies, which is also energy. And money is made when money is moving. And so if you fucking get a huge shitload of people to all of a sudden, like, you've got a ball in your left hand and you get a fuckload of people to pay you to just move the ball to your right hand, that's the best way to make money. It's so obvious.
Right. So I guess tomorrow, like, some of the topics that we'll talk about, like, and I don't expect you to, be available, Afix, but that's cool that you chimed in tonight. And if I'm still running tomorrow night, if I didn't succeed in my goal,
what time are you starting?
I'm probably going to start early because I want to do like the daytime.
So tomorrow's the election?
No, tomorrow's not the election. The
election. They're not going to do a fucking election on a Sunday.
Look,
yeah. That'd be ridiculous.
This is how much people actually know. Election is always the first Tuesday of the month. That's the election. That's always election. First Tuesday
on your
of the
twos
month
and your
November,
fours of every year.
November. Yeah, interesting stuff. So, and why is that? Is there anything occultic with that? Like there's things to look at here. 2, 11, 2.
Well, you look up just how leap years are formed. It's honestly a
lot of
similar
2s
thing.
involved with this year. It's crazy.
Fuck these assholes. I use the Julian calendar.
But so stopping the vote is like, it's a far-fetched idea, but it's definitely something that people need to address and they need to look at, like, what is going on, man? What is going on? We're going to talk about government waste. We're going to talk about government destructions. We're going to talk about oversight and, the ones that go and look for that pork belly money that, gets spent in all these different ways. Like, why isn't anything getting fixed? Why isn't it getting straightened out? Like, we're going to look into that. Where's all this black op money coming from? And, all these things. We could talk about these things. Anybody that wants to come on, we'll be there. So that's what we're doing.
Remind me about
thanks for
whole conversation sometime.
Afix.
Of course, man. It's always fun.
You got any final words you want to say to the people? before we shut
Yeah,
it
I
down?
think fucking Caesar was right, and it is the 22nd of October instead of the 4th of November.
Well, October is 8. November is 9.
So the Julian
December is
calendar
10.
currently, it is
Right.
22nd of October, 2022.
So it's like crazy, right? Like who made up?
Well, no. Well, so there's a whole
year-
conversation about catching up to now
This
that I would
year,
love to have.
this year is the last
It's
year.
honestly a fucking book. I could probably
Yeah,
write.
and because we just decide that nature's going to change, right, as a species, we say this year's going to be the last year that we use daylight savings time. Imagine that. Like, what was that? How did that get created? And what the
What is
hell is going
what is
on?
epoch 0? What is
Right.
millisecond 0?
Right.
Do you know?
No.
No. I'm asking you because it's a thing.
Epoch 0,
It
I
is
think, is like a
what is the Unix epoch start millisecond?
Isn't it like the nuclear time for like standing still or something?
Every computer, man. Every computer. Hold on. It's every computer, man. Grab it up here. Give me a second.
Every computer?
Every fucking computer. Every computer measures its time. Well, every consumer computer, not whatever mainframes and crazy shit, but measures its time based on a number of milliseconds since a certain point. That point is midnight. December 31st, 1969. So it's literally the number of milliseconds since the very beginning of 1970. And every fucking computer runs that. And that's the thing. So if you hit, like, if you're in a browser and you hit F12 or Control C and click a thing, and you just type new space date dot get parenthesis dot get time parenthesis. It is currently 1667712405163. That is the only objective time that actually exists for 99% of the human population. Actually.
Yeah, time zones
Which is
always, they baffle me. I don't understand how somebody 50 miles away from somebody else can be in a totally different time zone. Like how,
Indianapolis
how do you
versus
say-
the rest of Indiana, and they don't agree on like whether or not to use DST. Same thing happened with Phoenix versus Arizona. Like you leave the city and all of a sudden you're a different time zone. Literally, Greenwich Mean Time, the city of Greenwich in the UK, they actually have a different time zone in Greenwich time, which is 5 minutes off. And if you go to the fucking Southeast Asia and India, there are countries and portions that have 45 and 30-minute off time zones. And then there's another one in Tuvalu in the middle of the Pacific Ocean that one day a couple of years ago decided that they didn't like being at the end of the day. And so they decided they wanted to be at the start of the day. And so they just skipped a day on the calendar. Literally just didn't exist.
I told you we would talk about time. I told you guys.
I spend literally 1 out of every 10 hours
Time is a
at the
very
job I'm
big
at.
deal. You know what time it is for me though, Afix? The time.
You know what time it is for
now.
me
The
who
time is
does
now.
circadian rhythm work, man?
The time
is
now.
always now.
It
It's
is
always now.
always now.
And it's now. And then
it
it's
was
now.
And
And
it
it's
was
now.
And it's now.
But then
Now
it's gone.
Now.
But it's now again.
Now.
But now it's gone.
Now.
We just lost that one. Wait, what? Who? Where'd it go?
Hey, thanks for joining us, guys.
Love you all. Be safe. It's fun chatting as always, John.
And I'll be back tomorrow.